Hey, this is going to be a new installment or a series or whatever you call it. It's going to be titled PvP Breakdown and with the according episode numbers. The purpose of this is not to show off, it's really just to actually educate and help people wanting to learn the class. So basically, I'm more of a 1vx ninja, so I'll be primarily showing 1vx clips. Sometimes there'll be a few 1v1s, but that'll be rare in some future episodes. So for the time being, my format, because I haven't decided on a good format for this, the format will be basically me playing the clip through, and then after that I will replay it but break it down play by play, why I made the reasons I made, and really try to help people who are wanting to learn the class, some reasonings behind why I use certain skills in certain situations and so on. So without talking too much, I'll play the first clip through, and after this I'll again give a breakdown play by play. So that is the first clip, and let's rewatch that. So from here I noticed that, okay, there's one guy behind me, but he's trying to disengage, so I don't think he'll be an immediate threat to me. I see this Musa starting to dash back, so I try to stiffen the Musa. It's pretty hard to do this. It's like 1 in 100 chance that you actually stiffen the Musa between his dashes. But anyway, I threw out the murderous intent, and then right after, I figured, okay, well, he's backing up. Maybe his frontal is blown or something, right? So I'm going to throw a serpent. The serpent catches him. So right as he's in midair, I'm pretty sure I'm about to kill him here. You see two enemies, one behind me and one in front of me right here and right here, right? So right after the serpent, okay, serpent's not a protected move, so what do? I'm going to throw up a katana shower. Right, katana shower does a lot of damage, finishes that guy off, gets this guy pretty low, and this guy is going to engage on me head on with the katana shower. So while I am still in SA, I've made a proactive decision to block jump. So I'm going to block jump behind him here, and it turns out I couldn't actually land my target on him, so I couldn't press W and engage the block jump behind him. So I end up staying where I was, but I use Ghost Step to go behind him regardless. So that's an iframe, so it's an SA chain to iframe. And then when I get out of this iframe, I'm going to Blade Spin. And what that does is, it's an SA with quite a bit of damage. So here it is, and then I end up taking someone out with my Illusion of Restraint. Cool damager, and it's also a frontal when casted. So that basically went from Katana Shower SA to Block Jump iframe to Ghost Step iframe into a Blade Spin SA into a frontal casted Illusion of Restraint, Shift Z. It's a 58 bomb or 57, something like that. It's one of their bombs. And then from here, I will admit the fatal blow to Zerka's face probably was not the best decision here, but he didn't grab me, fortunately. So what I did instead was I grabbed him. I noticed the shurikens come behind me, which is an indicator that a ninja is engaging on me. So the grab animation in Awakening for a ninja is an iframe. So as I come out of the iframe, I'm going to raise my frontal because it seems like he's casting an attack. So I raise my frontal, and I opt for a murderous intent. The murderous intent actually, excuse me, didn't stun anyone. So I popped the smoke screen. The smoke screen has stunned him, right there. The ninja is stunned. The Zerker is back up. He just got up. So what I'm going to do now is I have Beheading the Dead, right? And that doesn't CC the Zerker. That's fine. I throw a Malice down for some extra damage filler as I iframe with a Ghost Step out of that situation to cancel out, to cancel out the damage of it. Or not damage, sorry, the animation of it. And then from there, I cancel out a Shadow Stomp. Shadow Stomp kills the ninja, has floated the Zerker. The Zerker is very low health. I put in some filler damage, and boom. And that concludes the analyzation of clip 1. Clip 2, it's it's from a Twitch stream, so the bitrate is not the best here. But anyway, we'll work with what we have. The general premise of this one is survivability while dishing out damage, and then finishing that last enemy, right? So that's the clip. Let's rewind it. Excuse me. So from here, I E-buff to regain my health, And the E buff, sometimes you can get a little reckless if it's a small scale 1vx situation, because the E buff, gives you a lot of extra damage. So I preemptively block jumped, which is kind of a waste, but let's jump. People make mistakes, I guess. Shouldn't have done that. But anyway, as I come out of the block jump, I go step backwards into a frontal, right? Because I see most of my enemies are in front of this 180 line that I'm holding. So any damage incoming from this arc of 180 will be mitigated by the frontal block. There's no damage there. So what I did was I turned. I'm gonna rewind that real quick. I turn here. I turn my camera so I can actually move in this direction, because I don't want to be surrounded on all sides by enemies. I want to always try to keep the enemies to one side of me. That way I can rotate frontals and SAs more efficiently than if I were to get caught up in got CC'd from the back or something, right? So even though I open my frontal here, I'm going to silent step diagonally to my back. And then from there, I attempt to murderous intent to stiffen the ranger. It doesn't seem like the ranger's stiffened, so I opt for another beheading of the dead, seeing as this enemy is quite far, this enemy's dashing in. So I'm like, okay, well, the ranger is the only one in the actual area of effect for my beheading the dead. It seems that I've stunned the ranger. So the Kuno and the Tamer are the two main threats now that the ranger is temporarily immobilized. And from here I see the Tamer's engaging with outward damage, so I'm going to actually cancel the animation of the beheading the dead by ghost stepping to the right. And I've ghost stepped to the right. Now I have thrown out a malice in an attempt to CC them as I ghost step, but before I ghost step, but that didn't CC them. So now I'm here. I stomp through and try to kill this ranger. I don't know where the Kuno is. I know that the Tamer is right here near my mouse cursor. So I've used an illusion of restraint to try to finish off the ranger. The ranger dies, excuse me, from that illusion of restraint. Now I see that this has happened, the sprout under the Tamer, so the Tamer has received the slow debuff from the illusion of restraint. So from here, I turn my frontal, and whenever you come out of pre-awakening into awakening with a dynamic movement C-swap, when the sword goes up or the sword goes to the side, that is a frontal, right? As you can see, this little frontal indicator, the damage from the Tamer is blocked by the frontal, so that's why I frontaled beforehand, as I saw the Tamer engaging me from that certain angle in that situation, right? So from there, the Kuno was actually coming behind my back. So since I had a frontal up towards the Tamer, but the Kuno was behind me, I opt for a Katana Shower. This is, it's an SA, so it protects me really quickly from being CC'd by anything, right? It does some damage to the Tamer. The Tamer's low. The Kuno's still high health, right? So from the SA of the Katana Shower, I throw out a Blade Spin. A Blade Spin is another SA, and that SA ends up killing the Tamer, right? So from here, the only enemy I have left is the Kuno. So now I open my frontal after the Blade Spin. Oh no, I'm sorry, I didn't open my frontal. I take that back. I ghost stepped out after the SA from the Blade Spin just to ensure some safety. Then I do some movement, that's an iframe, and then when I whip my sword out like that, that's actually a frontal as well, because it's a pre-awaken to awaken stance dynamic C-swap. So that's actually going to institute a frontal there. And I'm going to see the Kuno is a decent amount away from me, but I see them dash into me here. So what happens here is they dash into me, and while they do that, I am turning my camera around to actually hit their back, because right now they're moving from the right side of my screen to the left side of my screen, right? So what this means is they're focusing on moving forward. So if I can, I will get my murderous intent behind them to try to stiffen them again, and turns out I have succeeded in doing so, because I preemptively turn my camera to go behind them, and I murderous intent behind them, and I kill them. And that concludes clip 2. And, this is the first episode of a series that I'm attempting to keep up with. So, any suggestions on format, anything that I could have done better, I do appreciate feedback in the comment section. Hope you guys enjoyed and learned something, hopefully. Trying to spread some knowledge. Yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.